Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is International Master Vinny Chang with you today, and I'm going to be casting a game with Darnoc and Trickyguy. Not sure who Trickyguy is. Some pretty good GM, and Darnoc, of course, is Conrad Holt. I have not been casting for a while now, so this is my first time this week, so I'll probably be doing once a week. And so the start of the game is going to be a Slav. So far, a4, e6. So bishop f5 is normally the main move, but with e6, this is a different type of game. And we a5, bishop d2. Okay, so c5. So far this has been very new to me. I never played this type of line before, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. It seems like after queen e7, e5 could be played. I'm not too sure. e5 seems like an interesting idea. Queen e2, okay. At this time, I'm not exactly sure what's going on right now because yeah, this doesn't really happen to me too often in my games. But okay, so a6, bishop back. So if bishop takes and knight takes, and this helps black develop. This kind of helps him, so obviously goes back. And now white is pretty much going to play e5 very soon. So therefore black has to play e5 himself. After castling, black's probably just going to castle and play knight c6 next move. Bishop c6 is an interesting move just to stop knight d5, but maybe this, I'm not sure if this one move is going to make too much of a difference, but I guess, yeah, stop knight d5 to just see what's going to happen. Okay, so f4, knight d7. If he takes back with pawn, then knight takes. So f5. Okay, so the idea is, I think now white has some bishop g5 ideas. Okay, knight c5, bishop c2, or takes, this guy takes, go back, and probably play h6 here. Alright, so now h6. So, I guess this bishop's going to be here in case the knight ever moves. Black's just going to take on b2, and this is probably going to be a good idea for black. So far, this position has seemed fairly equal. It seems like white does have more space on kingside, but it doesn't seem like he can do anything with the space. Because normally, white's going to castle, and then he's going to play g4, g5. But in this case, yes, it doesn't work. So, okay, so b4 is a very interesting move. So with b4, if queen takes b4, then you play knight d5, and that's going to really have some potential problems. I don't know what the resulting game is going to end up like, but it seems like there's going to be some problems if he takes on b4. But if it doesn't take on b4 though, white just can play b5 himself. So it seems like, yeah, okay, so he doesn't take on b4, so now white just can play b5. Take 6, and now bishop has to go back. Because, I mean, I'm not sure also what else he can do here. Maybe he can take on c5. Yeah, so bishop go back. So he has a pawn on b5 now, and the position is open now. But this bishop on d4 is very strong. So yeah, it's not quite so obvious what's going to happen. And as I was saying before, g4 was pretty much the main idea for white with this kind of pawn structure. Yeah, he has to push forward. And after this b4, b5 idea first, this bishop becomes kind of more useless on d7. And it can't really control the d5 square. So therefore, this definitely is improvements for white. However, with this rook takes and rook c idea, now if he goes g5, then black's just going to take on c3 and just be up a pawn at the end of this line. So yeah, he's going to have to defend this, but now I think queen e3 probably is a possible move now. Because with queen e3, pretty much they're going to take on c3, plus if he ever moves his knight, then you take on c1 with check. So obviously with this formation, this knight probably the knight can just move actually. I'm not sure if, yeah, I think he could just move this knight. But okay, so after this continuation, yeah, I think he should just go knight e8 to knight d6 because I really don't see what else white could have done because he was kind of like not in a very good position right there. But now this kind of frees up white's position a lot more, and with this trade of bishops over here, this allows black to really, I guess this allows white to really relinquish most of the pressure here. And I mean, sorry, my bad. I want to say that this allows black to relinquish his pressure, which is not quite as good because I believe that black was winning here, but not so much anymore. So there's a queen here, and maybe he can. So if he takes on e4, then he goes queen d8 here and takes on c8. So it doesn't even win the bishop here. So unfortunately, I think he's going to go king g7 here. He pretty much has to go king g7 because he has to stop this this check first. Or he goes here, so queen g4 check, king f2, and most likely he's just going to take on f5. Okay, so he goes king f2 and bishop takes f5. So it seems like black is still winning here, and maybe just misevaluate the position. So it seems like Darnoc definitely has a winning position right here, and this is the type of game that I haven't really seen too often in the cast where black just seems to have like outplayed white very steadily. And sorry. So in this type of game, I think bishop takes f5 could be played. Yeah, bishop takes f5 exactly. So pawn takes f5, queen to c4 would check, and then black can choose to either take on b5 or go for the f5 pawn. Of course, white can't really go for anything else other than going for this, because if he doesn't take this bishop is just going to move on g6, and then black's position is going to be rock solid, and white's going to be not doing very well here. White's not going to be doing very well, so he has to take this guy. Unless, of course, you want to take on f7 first, which doesn't really make too much of a difference. If he takes on f7, then king takes, then pawn takes f5, queen takes f5 check. Eventually what's going to happen is black with his two pawns is just going to mop up this b5 pawn, and then push these f and e pawns. So it seems like white's just pretty much lost here, and yeah, it was really surprising. I thought that white was doing like fine, but it seems like black's formation was very strong here, and yeah, so definitely something to watch out for. Yes, I definitely did not expect this type of game, and wow, white just resigned here. Yeah, he just resigned. Okay, so that was pretty much it, and I was following him, so I'm gonna unfollow him. And so yeah, that was crazy here. I really did not expect this to happen. So c5 takes c5, get his knight here. And it seems like this is the idea with f5. I think f5 was just too slow here, and it seems like black really had no problems in this game, especially in this situation. I think that in this case, let me just check this Houdini here for a sec here. Yeah, it seems like g5. Yeah, knight e8, I thought knight e8 was the best move. Taking on c3 is not quite as good, but I don't know what happened here. I mean, yeah, this was flying, and then this must be the mistake. Queen f3, king g1 here. He should have gone for queen g2 trade, but I guess he can't f1, t2, and g2. He just loses. He has to go for queen g2 trade, and even then it seems like it's kind of difficult for black to win this. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, he just screwed up here, and he just resigned because he's pretty much lost here. So unfortunately for white here, he lost pretty fast to Darnoc, and yeah, this was a very interesting game, and I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. I'm gonna try to cast more this week because I'm gonna have a few days off. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.